Obrey, edi adani, etoda eye nije, edrumre bi nso a eye nije mu so. Wadwene mutimi ya wokesene ne ya na wo hu ne wonye. Ya na eye wo se je okra firi nsem ana. Wonim se, wadwene ne ye oni paduane ne safo a. Dwene mu na nyansa ne nimde wo. Adwene ne boama yefa nsusuye na yesiginaye. Adwene ne boama empo yakoma edan na tinkendi. Na wonim kwan a ewo se wo fa so ebo wadwene ho ban. Wo nyina nkemfo nti. Ena E-NAF consult edi dwumadie ebrew. Mental board wodwumadie so no ye nimpanfo a wonim de efa yadwen apomden ho bedi nhia na waboa ni anya nimdie ntiase na ye hu kwan a ye befa so aboy yadwen ho ban enti hia me oba entry wo Facebook E-NAF consult and for YouTube E-NAF TV so na ye mom enji sa nimdie kai se Ghana Psychological Association and for Mental Health Authority agi dwumadie yatom wo mental board so de ye say your mental health is our priority.
Right from the time Akwalano ebeto yefunu no around the 3rd, 4th, 5th week area was a rapid growth. The brain, yes. Akwalado are being because the parents are being. So there are some genetic influences with the brain and brain development. And sometimes you know say hormonal problems. Let me give you an example. In Kolabi as a almost a pepe, but in say they are not in quote normal. More Down syndrome near the end. Who's the interaction intelligence at the end is not okay. Though they are normal human beings, but their functioning is affected, right? Because in the womb, there are some chromosomal problems. So there are some diseases that happen to the child in the womb that can affect the brain development. Oba outer, 0 to 2 years. And two things are important. The first one is breastfeeding. Akola no woman but wafano the cuddling starts the emotional development of the child. So into your name in a grown idea no my soon muno man soon idea the child is developing warmth, love, care. That is how they see it. Papa na be you afa akola na bo abonebu echo up and down. Those things starts the emotional development of the child. In this akola no one breastfeeding and answer when you call crèche na idea na emboa bebre. Because akola no interprets the man be jamo. Now drink it in tiasi.
But we think
it will affect the child's emotional development. It starts from there. Right? And as a man, I be on a grammar. In Colombia, they grew up in some connection with the parents. They knew hope because they didn't get that. So breastfeeding is not just the milk, but the interaction helps. That is why babies, but they know the mother. Almost strangers. So they know the father because of that interaction. It is necessary for their emotional development. Then the next group is between from 10 to about 90, the adolescent years. Around that time they become more scientific and logic in their thinking because the brain has grown very rapidly. There are all kinds of hormonal changes here and there. The women start having breasts. The secondary sexual characteristics have started. Their voices, the male's voice are changing. They become more masculine and stuff like that, right? Whilst that is happening, the mind too has grown. And three things happen. They develop their own worldview. What is this life about? They develop their own identity. Who am I? And they develop their own independence.
Kaise, Ghana Psychological Association and a Mental Health Authority agi dwumadie yatom wo mental board so de yes say your mental health is our priority.
Like I was a mental board dwumadie so wo hwe Facebook aha E-NAF consult wo hwe YouTube so aha E-NAF TV so Dr. Isaac Newman Arthur eda so ewo yentem ye bema na kwa abadi na fe ye de nkomotwetwe no ato aso dog ye kotwa ye ho no wo sha se de ye fam se eho no ye 10 to 19 no efe no mo anka se ebodo kwa mfa so aye no mafa ye kosa party.
So three things they are building their own worldview. Abrabonete saying identity. Who am I? Then another one to independence. I want to do things myself because the brain has developed to become more scientific, cause and effect. In a way it's likely to happen. So they try to build their own world in a way that they see fit and based on their past experiences, right from 0 to way. then also societal influences.
Okay.
Right? Around that stage, because they are building those three things, the conflict with parents will go up. Because the same person who will come before 12, money, no, can make far. Now that person goes to the fridge and takes it himself.
Okay.
And if you ask why did you take it, they will give you reasons. Oh, I was hungry, you're not there. Or I was hungry and I thought I could eat. Or could be beer, or my person Atari. Before that, man, what should I wear? Now I didn't be, oh, my friends are wearing it, so let me wear it. You see, or we won't be, oh, this is nice. Before that, but I didn't. So that stage, very, very, very critical. And they need understanding and your friend is an acceptance to be able to grow. So around that time, parents do not dictate to an adolescent. Fathers will say, so far as you're under my roof, no. And yes, men call cry. No. Now he can have conversation. Oh, for example, oba akosha ataribi enye ODP. 2 ways. Now you are adding we a bad girl. Atari short na washe udikwe. Adding then wa down for chill. Wouldn't say if you yes sir. And go remove it. No. Adwa bra, second parent, adwa bra. Na atari washe oh me madam fuko. Na atari we then I would say short kakra na would say. Oh mommy, I'm so na mommy I guess we share atari etitisana. This and this is what is likely to happen. Into the quadrille.
Okay.
Don't mommy, yeah, okay.
Right.
I'm saying yes, you are telling the even if one case you are telling the truth and even goes. Or bedroom.
Sure.
Now you have built a relationship. Into any time that she wants to do something, she's likely to come to mommy.
Yeah.
Because mommy understands me. Oh. But the moment you become combative, I'm your parent, you must listen. You are this. You lose them. So now they form friendships with people who understand them and accept them. And that is why peer influence will go up. Into secondary schools now, groups. And when they all think the same.
Exactly.
They dress the same. They talk the same. They have the same interest. Because everybody needs to be understood.
Yes.
Right? So the adolescent is very critical. So you don't dictate to them, you discuss with them. Then again, you listen to their interest and where they want to go to.
Okay.
So before 12, on Sheda name the opposite in a boy.
Okay.
But when do adolescent stage, now to me dream your mom.
Okay.
Opposite science, opposite doctor, architect, fashion designer, musician. Father will say, no, so far as I pay your fees, you do what I say. Wrong.
Okay.
You need to discuss.
Yeah.
Now you are crying, then now person will do a bra boy. Also, daddy, I like drawing. Anytime I'm around painting, I'm very excited. Then the father, okay, that is good. Now, how do we go about it? Now you have opened me for discussion.
Yeah.
Oh, because a lot of kids, when they are in primary school and GSS, they are super good.
Yes.
A lot of them. But the moment they go to secondary school, the same person are very intelligent before you realize the grades start dropping. It's even worse when they go to university. Because secondary school, we force them into courses they didn't want. So they lose interest in the abilities that they have. Then when they go to university, it even comes worse. Some will tell, when I was in primary school or GSS, I was top of my class. But now I go to university and the same person, like, I'm struggling to study. Because the parents did not harness their ability around that time. Not everybody has to say study science because they are intelligent. Not everybody has to do arts because people think they are not. Now even visual arts, now it's either third choice or a fourth choice. So when she didn't pay visual arts, no, that's not how life goes. There are people who are very scientific, but maybe something happened to them and they didn't do well. And because of that, the BC or something didn't go well. But it doesn't mean that they don't have the capacity to learn. See, because we're all different. So adolescent years, if parents don't discuss, they're always dictating, right? Parents do not, so you must become a mentor and a friend to adolescent child. Instead of really, in quotes, a father, that strict kind of father, where you don't even listen to your child. You will lose them. And around the adolescence year, like I said, every negative thing that has happened to the child, it will show. Because by then, they can think for themselves. Before then, say, onim baby obedwane akọ. Into akola do. I remember when I was a child, my daddy used to flip pass armor, and before 12, it's like udwania opese udwane fifi. But I didn't chill baby obedwane akọ. Na udwane akọ yede. I didn't chill. But during the adolescent years, I didn't be. Into onim say udwane a okọ na danfo. And udwane krobe we obedi udwane. So around that time, they become very rebellious. So defiant behaviors. Let me give you like when you go into the Bible, if you look at Joseph and his brothers, because of all the trauma they went through, right? All the things they did as crime. For example, Reuben slept with his father's girlfriend. He was a teenager. Because Jacob and Shaw, it showed when they were growing up. Maybe next time we'll talk about childhood growth and the Bible. We can go into that from Abraham's time, and I'll show you some of the things. Right? Reuben slept with his father's girlfriend. Right? And he was a teenager. Why did he do that? It's a serious thing. Simon and Levi, they went to kill, a whole community, all the men. They were teenagers. As for Judah, I went to sleep with a prostitute, not knowing it was a son's wife. Right? If you look at Dinah, the only female amongst those siblings, she was raped because of peer influence. Right? And so the teenage years, you will see the manifestation of poor parenting in the teenage years. Because by then the brain is developing. If you stretch it to 25, like I said, by mid-20s, then the brain is fully developed to take decisions. And that is why even voting is not allowed until age 18. You can't buy alcohol until 18 because the brain is still developing. I think they should stretch it to 25. Because around 25 thereabout, that is when the ability to take decisions is matured. So before 25, most of your decisions most of the relationships that begin before 25 doesn't end well. Because you took a decision not because you have the capacity to think. But it was just emotional. And that is why maybe taxi driver be best sponsor will be a connection school while she was 18, 19. Right? Around that time they think they are in love. By the time Obe crosses 25, the same person was in love. I feel I didn't have ban also. And why did I even decide on this taxi driver? A ban is another diababa. Right? So those things have, but until mid-20s, the brain is still developing.
Okay, look, you're working now. One may have parents, so you rule like you play, say, ban on column at that time now. It do that time, so must start to school. Or school at that time, no can almost spend most of their time no schools. If I from teachers, and so that time, no teacher need be sharing. A dear next song, so a the one color time on one dream.
Yeah, so maybe I would say that teachers must teach. And the teachers must focus on teaching. A lot of teachers go into other things which won't help the child. Right? So focus on imparting knowledge. And you need to be very, very patient with the child. Because a lot of kids are not receiving that attention from the house. Some kids are traumatized from home. Maybe parents are fighting. Right? Parents are not talking to each other. If you're coming into the problems now at school. And so sometimes a child is looking for a place to hide. And school may be the escape. Oba school, soon as a teacher is very harsh on the child, only maybe the next available spot is the friend. And that is why friends can lead kids into all kinds of things. Parents don't know, teachers don't know. So every child is looking for someone to be the safe space. So teachers must recognize that every child in their care, whether they are bad or good, it is a product of failed parenting or good parenting. And unfortunately, they brought all the kids to you. You have no clue as to what happens. So the teachers who are very, very correct and they know what they are doing, they will pay attention to the kid. And if they identify something, they will even call the parents and say, no, I've noticed this and this with your child. What is happening? And that is why now every school should have a school counselor to be able to attend to some of those issues. So teachers must teach and they must be very patient with kids because a lot of them coming around. maybe traumatized kids,
Okay.
neglected kids,
Mhm.
abused kids
Mhm.
who need some safe space.
Okay.
And when the teacher is doing well, realize that the kids will confide in the teacher
Yeah.
as to what is happening.
Mhm.
Again, most of the mental health issues shows in kids as bad performance in class.
Mhm.
It's one of the signs that we used
Mm.
to know that the child is going through stuff.
Okay.
Because when everything is going well with the child, right, their performance goes up. When things are not happening well with the child, performance will start dropping.
Mhm.
But sometimes a teacher, instead of finding out what is happening to the child, will start caning or beating and those things.
And some words simple.
A word to be, I'll come to that. You are destroying the child.
Okay.
Because if everything is going well with the child will learn.
Sure.
You see, and kids communicate through behaviors.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes a child comes and is throwing tantrums.
Mm-hmm.
It's only a way they know how to get what they want.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what's been happening in the house.
Yeah.
So teachers have to be very, very, very patient
Mm-hmm.
with the child.
Okay.
Again, the schools that do this ABC kind of system
Mm-hmm.
and D,
Mm-hmm.
those who are super intelligent, they put them A, B and stuff.
Yeah.
Now even the teachers have a way of relating with the students based on the class.
Yeah.
Very wrong.
Okay.
I've had students who have come to me having serious mental health problems because of that caste system. Imagine what you know to be near so you grade B.
Mm-hmm.
How do you build your confidence?
Yeah. Yeah.
Imagine if in a junior grade you an adult. And I even teachers, the schools that do that, young classify teachers no grade A to B and C. Say teacher will do a grade A. How would they can't perform? No teacher will even accept that.
Yeah.
Why do we do that to the kids? So there are a lot of kids who actually shut down. Now me almost me a grade D. Maybe me was D class now D4 in almost we are bad boys. Into all cry and fight cry. So that caste system in schools, is destroying kids. I've had students who have come in. Their problem is that now even teachers relate with them as though they are second class citizens. And the band sana bullying can even go. Those who are in grade A, they will not even want to associate with the grade B's and grade A. So those systems in schools really affect a child. Right then again, to when the numbers in the class they are plenty, it doesn't help. Because every child needs some level of attention. Then probably me add that in schools, kids must have time for leisure and play and those things. So if the homeworks are plenty, and what if the child come 5 homework, you are wasting the child's time. The homework is a dose one. The child, it's not just books that help the child grow. Right? It's not just books. There are other things that help the child grow. You see? And I'm sure we'll talk about it in terms of mental growth and some of the things that affect a child's mental well-being. But the child needs a lot of books doesn't help the child. They need space to be able to be themselves, play around and stuff like that. So some of the schools. So when you go to these schools, my child will never go to any of these international schools. I'm not saying they are not good. Right? But when you go to most of these international schools, the kids, they have peculiar problems. And they are coming from a certain background. Parents are rich, they don't have time for them. They have servants in the house. They have been over pampered. Some of them can't even cross the street. So most of the kids, they are being raised in an unreal environment for the real world. So almost all of them, parents are giving them money, give them whatever they want. So by the time they come to school, it's like the capacity to resist life challenges. It's not there anymore. First case. Second case, when they come, the teachers are very, very, very soft with the kids.
Your papa was
because all cooking, you be if you are fathers will be parents will be our lawyers. Into no is careful. Into also correct you on ye. Right? Most of the curriculum, Montessori is good. But you see, it will develop their IQ, but other skills may not be developed. Especially if the school is not holistic in approach, it would affect the kids. So most of the kids have peculiar, if you go to those international schools, all of them have similar problems. But if you went to, their friend is saying, Nungwa ME, one anopa gobekra will clear your eyes. It will clear your eyes. And you will say most of those kids coming from them, if they become rich in life, who say, yes, they know how to spend it. They are strong. Things won't break them. But most of these turkey, foreign chicken kind of kids who are coming up, right? You realize that little things. They are the ones who can't marry too long. You see, they are the ones who small things that they want to kill themselves. They are because they've not developed resilience from childhood. Most of these international schools, you realize they have similar problems. Parents don't have time, they are divorcing. They live in an empty big house. They are only friends with their tablets and TV, right? And no engagement. Parents like that too, they won't even allow their kids to play with other kids in the area. So the child is growing up alone. And they are there, packed in those Montessori schools. So they have, and all bullying even is even very, very high. Because, and again, too depends on their levels of riches. It will be, hey, my father is rich, my father is richer. So the comparisons and looking down, it's a whole lot. And most of them, so parenting attention is not there. They're going to drag you, all kinds of things. And because they have access to things, money and stuff, they actually crime-related things is easy for them because they have the means. But if you didn't go to these international schools, you don't even have money to buy gari. That will go to weed.
Look, young fancy hona, you try home wrestling. I was here. Ubusa mental board remedy, and then so Dr. Isaac Newman Ata Ewaha, or the fancy movie brain, or my own be any stages a hot war, a hankalano, or my dream are in. Waka did teachers ya M1 kwala, and our canny, yea, our phones ya M1 kwala. My young try a home, say ye bar, ye better so your basses here.
Kaise, Ghana Psychological Association and our Mental Health Authority, Aji Jumedi Yatum, or mental board so dear yes, your mental health is our priority.